Boker Tov, good morning. Today is Friday, December 17th, Erev Shabbat, Parshat Vayechai. We'll be concluding Sefer Breshit tomorrow. Um, Earlier this week, we looked at the element of God closing off from Yaakov the ability to see something. It was based firstly on the Drashah on the fact that the Parsha is open but closed at the beginning. It opens with a closing, it doesn't have any space. And then, more specifically, when Yaakov asks his family to gather around, so he'll tell them what will happen, ba'acharit hayamim, what will happen in the end of days. We then read through into the words that follow. We don't see much about the end of days at all. There are some possible hints at it. Ad ki yavo Shiloh, that might be a reference to the Mashiach time, but those are all very, very fuzzy images. It's not what he seemingly intended to do, to tell his family what the Acharit Hayamim would be, and God wouldn't let him. The Acharit Hayamim, the end of days. I think I referenced, if I didn't, then I'll tell you now, that some commentary says Acharit Hayamim means the end of their story. Their story. You should know that right now the exile begins, but you will, come out of here on the other side after this period of suffering, and you'll be able to leave and you'll depart and you march off to Israel. So that is what some commentaries say, but even that's not brought forward in so much detail, right? Not so much detail even for that. But most seem to say, and certainly midrashic trend, is to read Acharit Hayamim as meaning the end of days. There actually is one midrash one midrashic line which says that Avram sought to do so with his children, and Yitzchak sought to do interestingly with Esav when he called them into the tent. There's something about this need that they have, or the desire they have, to tell them how this plays out. And I understand that. I understand we all want to spare our children um, the the uncertainty of life. And if we can tell them this is, here's the trajectory, and this is where it ends, and these are the details of how it ends, uh, we keep them from feeling the angst of how will this go, what will be. So this is how it's going to go. Yet God seems to not want to let that happen. Somehow or another, in this reading of the text, it is God's intention that people not know the end of the story until it comes. I saw one reference to basically it's like you don't skip to the end of the book. You're not going to be allowed to skip to the end of the book, and that of course brings no satisfaction if you do so. Yet you got the answer to how things worked out. And in fact, we do know that that we do have the prophecies in general that the things are going to work out such that there's going to be Armageddon and the Mashiach's going to come, but not enough of it is really there. But we know that the important part of a book is not the ending, but being taken through the narrative of the development of events and of people and experiences and growth, hopefully, right, in that kind of story, until you arrive at the conclusion. And perhaps it is the case, as I've seen some, in effect suggest, that if there would have been the focus only on the Acharit Hayamim, if they would have been given that message, then they would not really have determined that they need to focus on the journey of life, and the experience of life with all its ups and downs, and the development of themselves along the way. It would not be. The message would have been that that's not what matters, and it is what matters. It's the journey that matters. It is who you are and who you become that matters, not the specifics of the final outcome at all. That's why I'll tell you this. I know that there are certain approaches that are we want Mashiach now, and we're very Mashiach focused, and we do believe very strongly that that a person has to believe that God will bring the Mashiach, the Messiah will come. He'll bring it soon in our day. I believe that God can bring redemption at any point in time. But there's something about just like um, our life isn't about getting redeemed. Our life is about our life. Our life is about what we're supposed to do with ourselves for the amount of time that we're here on earth. Yes, God willing, Mashiach will come, but my focus each day is not really about bringing Mashiach. My focus each day is about doing my job, my personal job in this world. Hopefully that will bring Mashiach, but it's not doing it to bring the Mashiach to get to the gates, the Acharit Hayamim, the end of days, but because this is where the work is. This is what's important. And so as Parshat Vayechai comes to an end, that strong lesson is there for us too. We don't know how lots of things will play themselves out, do we? No, we don't. I gave the answer right there. Um, and it would be foolhardy and a shame for people to be worried about all of that, and rather to do the work of living presently to the fullest as we are meant to be. And that, I hope and pray, will be the way you lead your lives each and every day. Wishing you a Shabbat Shalom.